All right, welcome back to another edition of AIWF Mid-Atlantic Breakdown. I know it's been a while, and I take 100% responsibility for it. Welcome, my esteemed co-host, Reagan Danzig. You
Okay.
you do realize, Ray, that technically this is episode 20, but it probably should be episode 30.
No, it's been well, I mean, it's a legitimate reason. I mean, there is, even though wrestling is our life, we also have like, stuff out in the regular world that we have to do. So it is understandable.
Right. And in case you've been living under a rock, the reason that we have not been here is because that I have recently purchased a restaurant in Mount Airy, the Mayberry Drive-In. And my daughter Trista, who is an excellent person at restaurateurs, is running it. And it's took up a lot of both of our time. But we are leveling out a little bit now, trying to get everything. So I'm hoping to get back to doing these on we're taping them on Sundays now, so that gives me a little more time. But that is it. So if you're in Mount Airy, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 7, stop by the Mayberry Drive-In on West Pine Street, in front of the old movie theater. And me and Tristan will come out and say, "Hey, what's up?" You'd be amazed how many people we've had to go out and talk to. So
I'm sure.
yeah, but it's
It's,
fun. It's an interesting new adventure. So, but
yeah, I'm excited for you guys.
yeah, and and I ain't gonna lie, I had been very exhausted for a lot of weeks. But Reagan reached out to me and she said, "I hate to bother you, but what do you think about us doing a Mid-Atlantic episode, a breakdown episode, because of the fact that for the next two shows in July and August, we're going to be going to the Mount Airy Armory, which we have
We're
not been in
again.
years." And I was like, yes, if I have to prop me up with a stick, I want to do this show to talk about that. So,
Yeah, it's our roots. I mean, that's I don't know where y'all's first show is, but when we ran Mount Airy throughout the years, it was it was at the Armory there, so it's got a lot of AIWF memories there.
yeah, and we've had several different buildings in Mount Airy. We did the AIWF Arena over in White Plains, and we did Jones School, we did Mount Airy High School, and our home for a lot of years has been Veterans Park because we first started running there. I think Matt Carter told me it's 1996, and nobody has a memory and a mind for history like he does. So 1996, we run shows started at Veterans Park. So it's been our longest venue, but our oldest venue, technically, is the Mount Airy Armory. Even though we run our first few shows at the very first year of the AIWF, we run a few shows at a old White Plains School gym in Mount Airy, and that was I think it was before Brian and them come.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I don't
yeah,
don't
but
remember that. So,
we did a few shows there. But our first real permanent home was the National Guard Armory in Mount Airy, and we're going back there for a couple of shows this summer before we return. We will be returning to Veterans Park in September, for the fair shows and our regular show that month. But the Armory, I mean, the memories from the Armory, I mean, it's, oh my God, I don't know. That's where the infamous picture was taken when Kevin Phoenix beat TR Superstar for the Mid Atlantic title, and when Rob McBride was reaching out and touching Kevin through the cage and giving it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll never forget the picture. And I wish to God I could find that picture again. But across the way, in like the first or second row of the seats, directly in, behind them where the camera could sit, there was a girl with tears just streaming down her face over that moment. That was an iconic moment.
that is an iconic moment. Yeah, you need to get find that picture if you can and share that. I think people would
I,
that
I
explains
can't remember
that.
who took it. No, I do remember who took it. For that show. There were some guys that had come down from Maryland, and that picture was taken by a photographer that rode with them. And I remember he sent it to me, and I have no idea what happened to it after that.
It's not like you don't have 1,000 hard drives full of pictures and videos and everything. I just recently found a gigantic shoebox of 2099, 2000, 2001 photographs that I think were given to me throughout the time by oh God, Big Don's wife, because she used to take pictures, right?
Yeah, she used to take a
Pam,
lot of pictures. She was our
is her name
picture.
Pam?
Her and JT Sledge's wife at the time.
Yes. So I just found those. So I got to put those in something besides a shoebox. So
Well,
there's
I've got.
pictures in there.
You'd be amazed how many I have in photo albums. And you know what? We should just like get them out and share them because people don't realize, that's a lot of history in your shoebox and in my
Yeah, it is. And it's
photo
not like
album.
a little, it's like a big wide one.
Yeah.
There's also pictures of when I wasn't around, but Drunk Fest from one year.
Oh
You
my
remember?
God, you have pictures of Drunk Fest?
I do have pictures of Drunk Fest, and I don't know where they came from either because like I said, I wasn't around for that. That was way before me. So
That was
I
always,
have some.
if I'm not mistaken, that was always held at Don Carson's house.
From what I remember from being told, those were always at Don Carson's. So I'll have to find those and see if there's some to share. So
Lord God, if there's a picture of that kid that them women put in that lingerie,
no, I don't have that.
thank
I,
goodness.
I don't have that one.
There is a picture of that though.
Huh.
We used to
Man,
have
oh
some
man.
evil, evil wives back in the 90s.
Oh God, yes. We were the brunt of some hatred by those evil
Yes.
wives when we first started coming around.
Oh my
So,
God. The things they would do to wrestlers. See, and people nowadays have no idea what they missed back then. You
I
know?
know it was, but then I've been watching Dark Side of the Ring, and I'm always turning to Brian. I'm like, phew, I am so glad wrestling isn't like that anymore. Like
But we
some of
came
it,
through that.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Well, some people did it, um, but yeah, it's a crazy time. Like it's really evolved into something that's completely different. Like I know there's still shady stuff that still goes on, but some of that shady stuff was real fun back then. So
Yeah, see, a lot of people don't realize that we're one of the very, very, very few companies that was around during these years that the dark side of the ring stuff focuses on. And it will, I mean, and I know the stuff they focus on is all the bigger stuff. You know what I'm saying? The bigger name stuff. But my God, if they would ever go back to the mid to late 90s or some early 2000s and just really dig deep, there's indie stuff out there that would make some of that stuff they show on Dark Side of the Ring look like a day at Disneyland.
yeah, I know. I had fun catching up with we had our guest commentator sat the last show, Robbie Evil.
Yes.
And it was nice to catch up with him and things. He's a changed man, but we shared some stories from back in the day. So
But
it
you
was
know
fun to see.
what? Believe it or not, there's been a small, few person movement. It's just sort of low key and grassroots right now. I guess the best way to put it. But there is a movement to bring Robbie Evil back for commentary.
I told him that I would love to have. He did a fan. He just slipped right in. I know that he says like our next show because I asked him for the next show, but he goes to Nikita's man camps, and
Yeah,
so I
man
think he
camp.
was saying that he was going to be at that. He also said that he was interviewed for Nikita's podcast, and that should be coming out soon.
Oh man,
So,
I want to see that.
yeah, I do
What if
too.
he'll
I
talk
told
about us?
pro- fingers crossed, we'll see.
I don't know. Because, see,
But yeah,
Nikita don't, I mean, his man camp ain't about wrestling. So,
no, it's not, from what I gather.
so,
So
but it would be nice. I mean, to get a mention there. But did you see, I don't know if you've seen the picture. Oh, man, I should have put that up. The AIWF Women's World Champion made the cover of a digital magazine.
I saw that. I saw you put that up. So that's real cool. Um, she's
You keep
really
talking.
making
I'll
the
see if I can
rounds.
find it.
She's making the rounds. I saw that she's been advertised for WrestleCade, and the WrestleCade picture is
I seen
her with
that.
our belt. Yeah. So yeah, she's really going places. So that's exciting.
Keep
But the
talking.
we're coming off our last show. Like I said, we had Robbie Evil helping with commentary. If you didn't make the show, which not a lot of people missed that show, we had a really good crowd for
Yes.
spring. Wait, no, that's not right. Not spring.
Extreme
Is it
content.
spring jam? Oh my God.
Extreme content.
Extreme content. I tell
It's
Brian
okay.
every day that my brain
You're
is
there.
slipping. But
It's
we
it's
had
been a while since we've done this. So
and
uh,
saw a lot of changes. And so we got
the
two
crowd
new.
really liked. They was really into the Jay Lethal match.
They were, and you know what was so just shocking about Jay Lethal? Like you'll see people. We don't usually have this problem, but you'll see people coming in who are. I mean, and when you think about Jay Lethal, he's a modern day legend.
Yes.
From like the 2000s, and so nice, so humble, so approachable. After
Yes.
after the show, he went out to the concession stand and took pictures for free with the fans. I can't say he does that all the time, but
Well,
he's
something
like
about Mount Airy just brings
it
nostalgia to
does, and
me,
so he
guys.
was super nice and had a great match. That turned into a tag match. Seth Clayton Burns is sticking his nose where it don't belong, as Jackie Anderson used to say. Um, and
Jack Anderson always used to say Puff Town.
Pufftown, sticking your nose where it don't belong. Anyway, so his group came in that match because it originally was Jay Lethal versus Mickey Falk, which was becoming a banger, and then Seth's guys came in and it turned into a tag match. So it was fun. I don't want to give any spoilers alert, but if you really need to tune in when that episode comes
Yes.
out because of what Mickey was so fortunate to have one move with Jay Lethal, and I just want everybody to tune in and see that. So
And
that was
also
fantastic.
Josh Woods, who
Oh
is
yeah. Another guy who is in the AW Ring of Honor now, who is very nice, very
yes.
humble.
Yes,
So
the only issue I had with him is he was very disappointed we didn't have a Snickers bar in the concession stand.
I guess pregame or post game? Was that
Post
a
game,
that's
I
a
guess he just
celebration?
needed the energy. So I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, that match was good too. It was a solid card. There was not as much blood and guts as usual, but sometimes it's
You
it's
don't have to
nice to
have
kind
that
of
to be
you don't
entertaining.
have to.
Huh.
You don't have to be extreme, because we had toolbox match, we had you know, oh my God,
Oh,
every
which, by the
day.
way, yeah, yeah, keep talking. Toolbox match. There's another picture I need to get up here, I guess. Hang
Yeah,
on now.
toolbox match, and then we had some other Vladimir Koloff lended a hand with one match. Took my ladder. Thank God it didn't get broken, because if I lose my ladder to my hard cam, we're going to be messed up. So it was a good show. Lots of good wrestling. Again, we show that that extreme doesn't just mean throw yourself around in lights
Right.
and bleed everywhere. You know, it's a nuance, and it's a good showcase of how you can take wrestling and put a little extreme touch to it. So, and I think it was a good show. It was match. I think there was a match for everybody that night. You know, all fans across the spectrum of wrestling fans. So it was good, and I feel it's my second show using the new equipment. So there were a couple of shots, you'll see it. You can do a picture in picture,
I
but
seen
I was
that.
having but I was having trouble in the beginning figuring out what it's only one angle that will take the picture in picture. So once I figured that out, you would see I would put up like the hard cam, and then in the corner, like Seth Clayton Burns, like running his mouth as usual. But if you watch, there are some where I'm trying to do picture in picture and it's the same picture. So just bear with me while we fix those kinks. But it's exciting because, a lot of times if you're not at the shows, you don't see both things at the same
Right.
time. You don't see you don't see like the reactions of like Mickey Fulp in the ring listening to Seth, or vice versa. So it's really a cool thing to be able to do there, so everybody can, when they're watching at home, can see both things. So
Well,
both
and
shots.
like
So
you said, this is a training on site thing. I guess the best way to say it, because you are having to learn as you go.
yeah,
But
and it's
you're doing so
yeah,
good with it.
yeah, the new like just the clarity is just it's fantastic. And I was really worried in the beginning about the cords being out there, because so many people just either like what we were doing with the iPhones, or they're just recording with the camcorder and then going back and putting it all together. So but and sometimes wrestlers are a little,
Well,
you know,
and
but
what she's talking
it's
about.
been working out well.
Well, what she's talking about is when we were using the old system a couple shows ago, we were filming with iPhones and doing them wirelessly, and now we have went wired. In other words, we have cords running from the cameras back to Reagan's equipment. So, but that makes for a better picture uh, because especially at Veterans Park, in that big metal building, there's not a lot of signal, and it's hard for it to bounce around in that building. So going wired helped there,
Yeah.
and it makes for a clearer picture. And we will hopefully in the very near future, or at least near future, be upgrading to even better cameras too.
Yeah, because
So,
fingers crossed,
yeah,
because I also can control the levels of the sound now. Also, getting really, this is like technical stuff people don't care about, but I think this is only really my third time using it, because I started
yeah.
in Idaho with just one camera. So my hopes and prayers to the wrestling gods is that eventually I can talk somebody into running a third camera
Mm.
and stuff. But
Well,
that's
maybe
that's a
two
dream.
hard cameras to start out with.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a lot to, it's an exciting time. I was I was actually talking to Jay Lethal and Cozone about it and stuff, and they were very interested in hearing me run my mouth about the production. Uh, so that was fun for me. I got to brag a little bit. So
Well, I'll tell you what, if the fans want to show Reagan their support in her new technical endeavor, start bringing signs to the show so that
yes,
she can direct
please.
her cameramen to take shots of your signs.
Yeah.
I've
I
always
mean,
liked the signs.
I did too. And at one point we were bringing the stuff in. We need to do that again.
And let people
Um,
make, yeah, I know.
and
I
let
can
people
never
make them. We got
remember
a
it.
lot of people do that. So,
And
but
I
yeah, if you
know that if
please
you're
bring
sitting
those.
behind somebody with a sign, it can be a little irritating. But what we do is ask everybody, if you hold up a sign, do it just for a few seconds and put it back down, so the people behind you can see. But the time that I liked WWE the best, and even WCW was during the Attitude Era when the fans brought all those signs, and you've seen this ocean of
Yeah,
signs
you
out
would.
there,
And
and
like
and some of them were so creative and so
they
good,
were.
and
We
that was entertaining to me. I loved
It was because when my friends and I we were going to the WCW shows, like one of the things we would always do is we would that night before we would get our stuff for posters and think about the things we could put on them and stuff and had so much fun just making those signs and taking them in. Now I've had some taken away from me.
it.
At one point, I don't remember. It might have been my Eddie Guerrero sucks. They took it from me at the the Winston-Salem Coliseum, but
Well, you
that kind of
do.
shows you the change in times that you couldn't put sucks on TV. But
Well, common sense should be able to tell a rational person what they could put on a sign and what not to.
yes,
And
so
if you get your sign taken away at
it's a
any
badge of
show,
honor.
it's going to be your fault because
That's
anybody
true
who
too.
allows signs wants the signs there. But,
Yeah,
be mindful of what you put on. Nothing dirty, nothing about rival organizations, nothing about, nothing, no bad language. Because even though our stuff's on the internet, there are still some kids, a lot of kids watch our stuff. So,
yeah, and we have a lot of kids at the shows too. So,
yes. So be
but
mindful.
yeah,
But bring signs.
yes, but yes,
Anyway, Armory. July the 12th. I don't even know if we mentioned the date. July the 12th, we are going for our first of two shows at the National Guard Armory in Mount Airy. We're going up there through the summer. And believe it or not, we're going back in August for Deal with the Steel.
I can't
August
believe
16th. So that's going to be cool.
that is going to be very cool. Deal with the steel. I just well, first of all, are we still using the cage with the extra space there?
I don't see why not. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
staple for Deal with the Steel now.
Yeah, I know. That's one thing I like to mention. I mean, our fans don't, but I think we have a very interesting cage because it's not just around the ring. There's actually, space to the side, for people to get down to business in their matches and stuff.
Well,
So,
no, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say it's just a very unique wrestling cage.
Well, if everybody sits and thinks about it, it is a design that we have used before. I think it was 95, 96, somewhere around in there, when we actually had a cage that had that space on two sides. For the infamous Deal with the Steel in Stewart, Virginia, where we brought Bad Brad to the ring in a trash can as a weapon, and he was legal because he came into the ring in a trash can.
In a trash can.
Well, that was now. This is a distant relative of that cage, but that was the greatest cage in history.
Yes.
On Independence, to have that on two sides. So this is kind of a paying homage to the big, awesome, amazing cage that we had back in the 90s. And it's just our way of, like I said, paying tribute to that cage. But nobody else has a cage. The best of my knowledge, no other independent wrestling company in the country has a cage like that.
Maybe you should trademark.
I could be wrong. I haven't seen them all, naturally.
No, maybe you should trademark that idea.
Jimmy Valiant, Boogie Woogie Man.
Legendary Boogie Woogie Man.
Wait a minute, baby. Wait a minute. Hang on.
What are you doing around
What was that
here?
calling you, buddy?
Neighborhood. This is
Was
our
that Jamie?
neighborhood.
You
This
done
is
made
a
young man's
mistake.
game.
You should be retired, Boogie.
Wait a minute, boys. Let me take a bite of my king dog.
You say King Dog?
King Dog?
Is that what he said?
What? What happened?
Come on, boy.
Don't let hunger bully you. Get yourself a king dog and you too can become a super hunger fighter.
Secondhand Heroes and Home for Wayward Villains is a comic book shop and gaming store that also features Magic the Gathering and D&D. Located at 18184 Leesville Road in Ebbington, Virginia, Secondhand Heroes is your one-stop shop for you to get your nerd on. Open 7 days a week at 11 a.m. They don't close until the dice stop rolling. They buy, sell, trade, barter, and haggle, specializing in collectible toys, both vintage and modern, comics, Magic the Gathering, video games, console, and arcade cabinets to play, all set to free play. Host your game night with us. Monday night D&D video game competitions, and so much more. Something for the collector and gamer in us all. Call 434-317-0121 or shoot us an email with any questions to secondhandheroesva@gmail.com. Note, secondhandheroesva@gmail.com. That's 2ND, handheroesva@gmail.com. Come game with us.
Oh, God, I just remembered something. There's something we was going to do to that cage before Deal to Steal. I got to get with my building people. Anyway, so July 12th, going back. Now, let's take a look. Let me see if I can bring this up here and see if we can take a look at, here we go. Oh, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you notice, in the middle, there's a big change. Big change. Mason Matthews took Justin Flash to town and ended up with our belt. Ended that over 200-day, 300-day, 200-day. Can't remember the name. It's a lot of days.
I think it's 3 because he's had it a year.
Yeah.
Over 300 days. And Mason Matthews won that belt. Now, there was a stipulation that Justin Flash is gone from the AIWF. So I don't know where that'll go. I've been getting so many messages. You need to bring back Justin Flash.
Well, I don't know. You and I have kind of come to a symbiosis kind of working together again. And I just, I feel like I think Seth has taken advantage of the fact that you can't always be behind him. Because like I said at the beginning, you've been very busy in that outside of wrestling life, and which is understandable with anybody in the independents. You always have a life outside of wrestling. So I don't really know where Seth got the authority to do that. So, I don't know. But he also told Mason Matthews if he didn't win that he was done. So, which Mason Matthews didn't look too happy with Seth Clayton Burns at the beginning of that match and really at the end of that match. So, sometimes Seth bites off more than he can chew.
Well, unfortunately, like you said, I have so much going on that I have just kind of had to let Seth take the reins. I mean, I don't have time. Anybody who went to the concession stand at Extreme Content seen where I was. So I have to have these other responsibilities that I have to take care of. So I'm on the fence. Could Seth be taking advantage? Could he be going overboard? I don't know. I'm not there. I see the videos. I mean, I don't see that he's doing anything that I wouldn't do in his position. But then again, I just ain't got time to fool with him right now. So I'm trying to deal with it as best you can. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that's unfortunately, you have these, you have a general or a head of something and they try to make a coup and he sometimes, if nobody fights that coup, you turn around and now Seth Clayton Burns is running the AIWF. And I don't know.
Unfortunately, I don't have time to fight the coup. So,
and I don't think anybody wants to see Seth running rampant in the AIWF. And, So
Well,
we'll see what
the
happens.
best thing I can say, my best advice to anybody who don't like what he's doing, just I don't know, try to do something different. I ain't got time. You see how long it took for us to do this.
Yeah, I know. And we've had people like, why, when are you going to do the breakdown? When are you going to do the breakdown? And I keep telling them, like, Rick's been very, very busy and stuff. You know, I am flexible right now because, you know, most everybody knows my shoot job, you know,
Right.
is
You're in that
teaching.
time of year where you can have,
Yeah. So
and
I'm
it
in the
is
time of
leveling
year.
out for me.
Yeah.
So
So
we might
I'm
be able to start doing these a little more often.
so I'm the one that's flexible. I can do them, you know, whenever you're free because, like I said, I'm just sitting. Like I go out with my children do stuff. Most of the time I'm sitting watching old WCW Saturday nights right now. So that's what I've been doing for my last 2 weeks. So of being off. So
On another subject, if you'll notice in this poster right here, this right here,
Aaron Wilson or THC? Oh, THC.
THC,
They
Buddy
have been.
Flowers and JT Moss making their way back to Mount Airy.
Yeah, I know they've been one great thing about them. I'm super excited about them coming back, but yet again, they're one of those guys who started with us, and now because they gained that popularity, they're really working around the scene now. You know, so I hate to lose them. That you know, for some shows, but thoroughly happy to see them out there living their dream,
And
and I'm super.
everybody and all the fans, there's fans in places that just they don't have the time or the funds to drive to Mount Airy to see these guys. So we have to let them spread their wings and get out there
I know. I'm
you know,
excited though. The crowd
take
is
it to
going to be so happy to see them.
yes,
So,
I haven't seen them in a long time.
yes. You know, and speaking of Aaron Wilson, he was just announced for the Sweet 16, AIWF Sweet 16,
Sensational 16.
Sensational
I think
16.
that's what it is. Yes,
Yeah.
that is a tournament that is it's really worldwide. There's matches happening all over the United States. I do know of matches that's happening in Africa. And Aaron Wilson has been chosen to represent the Mid-Atlantic in this AIWF worldwide tournament. We haven't been told when his first round match is going to be, but if he does good, he only has to win, I think, 2 matches to make it to the finals, or the final 4 or whatever. Which will be held at the AIWF 34th anniversary. The finals will be held at the anniversary show next March in Mount Airy.
Oh, wow.
So we're pulling for Aaron. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we're pulling for Aaron Wilson.
I know. It's hard because he's such a, he is phenomenal in the ring, but
yes.
You know, he's a bad dude. So, and so,
and honestly, I don't care where you come from around the world. If Aaron Wilson hits that moonsault on you,
you're done.
You're done.
You're done. We're also missing another. Well, there was another title change at Extreme Content, so we're going to have to get a new picture.
Yeah, the poster was made on the fly. So hang on a minute. That's on me.
Got your
Again,
picture.
Not a lot of time.
I know.
What did I do with that?
I wish I knew how to. I am not good at editing. I'll just say this. I don't know how to edit and I don't know how to make posters. So if I knew how to do 2 of those things, I would help. Now, if I could talk my child into it.
Here it comes.
Yes,
boom.
there it is. Ty Tyson, national AIWF champion. So to put this into perspective, this isn't a Mid-Atlantic title.
No,
this is an honest to God national championship.
Right.
That
recognized
is
all over the United States. The gentleman he beat for it was Eric Draven.
Yes.
out of Indiana.
Yes, and if you came to the anniversary show, you would have seen him that show, I believe. So yeah,
Right.
that was a great match. That was our toolbox match. Um, so one of
And
I
Ty
think
already, if I'm not mistaken, he already, because see, the thing about a title that's not a regional title like our Mid-Atlantic title is when you win a belt, you take over, technically, you're supposed to take over the schedule. So they've already contacted Ty and told him that he has title defenses. I think it's in Pennsylvania and Indiana.
yes, yes.
So I don't know. He's all excited about winning the belt, but now you have to, you have to get what's coming to you because, like I said, they've already contacted him. I'm pretty sure it's Pennsylvania and Indiana and maybe one other place that he's already got title defenses that he has to go.
That,
Now I think Indiana is in July in the next like 3 weeks. He has 3 or 4 weeks. He has to go to Indiana.
I mean, so this is a legitimate national title.
Yes,
Legitimate national title. This isn't national title by name only. You know, Ty Tyson will be going around our country and defending that title.
Just like he did. Remember now, when he had the world belt, he defended it. He defended it out just outside of Nashville, Tennessee. He defended it in Kansas. He defended it in West Virginia. Kevin Phoenix took that same world title to England, Austria. Salem Center 6 took the world title to Africa. Our titles, if it says world or national, that's what it is. It's not a, hey, this is ABC Federation world title that only gets defended in, an hour from home or in one town. No, these titles are legit.
Yeah. And I think it would also be, I mean, if you're listening to us and you just follow Mid-Atlantic, I would search out the other AIWF, the actual Federation Facebook page, or Matt Classic, and make sure to give them a follow so you can keep up with what's going around the world with the AIWF affiliates and federation. So it's not just us. It's not just Mount Airy and the surrounding area. Sometimes we only talk about the Mid-Atlantic because that's our backyard. That's our wheelhouse.
Yes.
We bring in people from the other affiliates and things like that. But, a lot of times we do focus on just us, but it's also good if you're a fan of ours to look out for that other stuff, especially now that Ty Tyson is going to be defending that title around the country. Keep up with that. Like I said, we'll keep up with it, but also go ahead and look out for the other two, Matt Classic or the AIWF. I don't know the name of that page, so is it just AIWF? I don't remember.
Which one? The AIWF Wrestling?
Yeah, the regular, just the affiliate.
The big page is AIWF Wrestling. We're AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling.
Okay.
AIWF Wrestling has 20,000+ followers.
Okay. I couldn't remember the name.
Which I'm on that page right now, actually, and I was looking for something but I can't find it right off the bat. But anyway, that's something else we can talk about. Coming up in a few weeks, AIWF will be represented at the Gathering, which is the big convention in Charlotte. And AIWF, one of our affiliates, is run by, do you remember LAX?
Yeah, Hernandez.
Homicide.
No, Hernandez.
Hernandez, yes.
Yes.
Hernandez is going to be there at the AIWF table. So go to Charlotte at the Hilton and check that out. As a matter of fact, if we'll work real hard, we'll plan on doing this show again next week, and we'll talk about that as well.
Yes, and that's an exciting con. So so it's exciting to be there. It's
also the story I was looking for just a few minutes ago was there was a wrestler that was named AIWF. A lot of people don't realize this, but AIWF has what they call a it's a committee that just sort of helps oversee things. Can't remember the exact name. Believe it or not, there's a lot goes on at AIWF I ain't got a clue about, and it's hard for me to keep up with it all. Remember, 150 affiliates in like 50 or 60 countries.
Mm-hmm.
But there is it's an oversight committee, and it's basically it's almost like a championship committee, but it's almost like an advisory board. It's like an advisory board for the AIWF. And it was announced a few weeks ago that, I don't know if you remember him, but Paul Roma, a former Four Horseman, has joined that committee now.
No, I have not seen that.
Yes.
I missed that. Huh. That's
There's
crazy.
a former Four Horseman on an AIWF committee now. So I don't have to tell you about that, but, we just keep getting bigger and bigger. And not to be disparaging or not to be, I don't want to sound like I'm throwing off on anybody, but you don't hear as much about the NWA as you did there for a while now.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's
I don't know what's happened to them, and I'm not trying to get off subject. I just don't.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah, I have heard recently that but yeah, you don't. It's one of those things where you can be I'm trying to think how to say it.
Yeah, because we are designed like the NWA, so
because
we are not throwing off them. We want to be like the NWA. So when they suffer, we cry. That makes sense.
Yeah, well, it's the in NWA in name only.
Right.
When you think about it. And I'm not disparaging it. There are some great wrestlers who are on those shows. Our very own not our very own, but JAC had a match on NWA. So, it's just it's one of those things where it's kind of name only, even though,
yes,
they have a really great roster. It's really not like what we are doing now. Like, you're right. Our territories are actual territories now.
Yes.
So, but yeah, it's a good time for AIWF. So.
Yes, it is. Okay. So speaking of good time, anything else on this poster you want to talk about this week? Or do we want to, save it for, because you know what? I'm going to make it a point to be here next week. All right. So there you go.
Put it in your calendar.
I'll put it in my calendar. All right, so let's go back. I have something else that I want to share. I was hoping it'd be the story. All right, let's just do this. Okay, well, let me get this up here to show you. I gotta remember to do this stuff all over again. Boom. I do it. Oh yeah.
Nope, I still see you.
Okay. There we go.
There we go.
This is, for those of you who don't remember, this is the AIWF Women's World Champion, Ava Brooks. She won the title a few months ago from Clara Carter, who held the belt for over a year. Amazing champion. Ava is only 19 years old, and this is the actual cover of a digital magazine where they're doing a story on her. And I wanted, God almighty, so I was trying to get everything about it. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can find it, and I'll read it while you look at the picture. I was hoping when I pulled the picture up, it would have had the story as well.
Wow, so she's only 19.
Yes.
Wow, and she's accomplished all that at 19. That's somebody you're going to see. That's somebody you're going to see, out there a lot. If she's already got.
And winning the AIWF World title done this to her. It's Camille AL. It's a DWC women's magazine. Every Tuesday at 6:30 Eastern. 49 million reach in 30 countries. And Ava Brooks is on the cover of their digital magazine. It's on the cover for July 29th at just 19. Ava Brooks, AIWF Women's World Wrestling Champion. So she made the cover of this amazing, huge magazine called DWC Magazine, Strong Women. It's a women's magazine. Strong women, strong voices. So that's, I mean, be proud, girl.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's great. So congratulations to her for such accolades at 19.
I know. I'm very proud of her. Lord, I gotta get some of these pictures off here. I don't even know where my thing is now. I've lost my entire. Oh, there it is. So anyway, yes. So this is a huge worldwide women's magazine, and she has made the cover. And I'm assuming there's going to be an article. So it was what did I say, July 29th?
Or 26.
26th. Anyway, be looking for that. You can see the story on the AIWF Facebook and my Facebook, and I'm pretty sure the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Facebook will.
Yeah, I saw that well, I know that I saw it because I saw you share it. So
Yes, so share this, let everybody know about it. I'm sure it's going to be an awesome story. The AIWF Women's World Champion on the cover at 19 years old. So this girl has exploded since winning that belt.
Yeah, she has. I'm thinking about when I was 19. I don't know what I was doing. I was still cruising in Stewart at 19. So good for her. So,
yeah, at 19, she's traveling the country.
yeah.
And I feel like after this article comes out, she might be traveling the world.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Congratulations to her.
Yeah, good for her. Okay, so I don't know how much longer. I have my little hey, you're about out of time hasn't come up yet.
Mine either. And
That's
I know
bizarre because I feel like we've been on here a while.
I do too. I do also. It's like I don't know. Have they changed their time? It is very
It's been
strange.
so long
Usually
since we've
by
been on
now-
here, they're allowing people more time now. I don't know. But anyway, there it is. I guess I'll be more prepared next week. I want to do a show next week.
We will. And I'm on your schedule, so just let me know. As long as it's not early in the morning, I'm not an early riser.
Oh, I'm up at 6 a.m. to go to the restaurant, and I get home at 8 o'clock at night. So I'm 13 hours a day, 14 hours a day now. At my age, what is wrong with me?
I don't know. Keeps you ticking.
I guess.
Ticking.
Kicking and ticking. Anyway, Mayberry Drive-In, come by, say hey to myself, say hey to Trista. We're in there working hard for you. At the wrestling shows, come up, look at Reagan, say thank you for all the hard work you do at the shows, because she has really turned our production around. She is doing so good, and if you want to, we start a GoFundMe to get her better cameras. All she's missing, man, is better cameras.
I know. Well, and the cameras are fine, mate. So for right now. But yes, a GoFundMe for new cameras would be nice. Because I think there's a feature where I can control a microphone, but we don't have one yet that has like a good microphone to see if that actually happens. So, but yeah, I'm excited about what we're doing. Things are going good.
Yes, they are. So, and I'll announce next week because we'll be in July. I'll announce the next inductee to the AIWF Hall of Fame. It is about time for us to start posting them on the websites now. So, but you know what, Reagan? I guess we can call it a day.
Yeah. I'm glad to be back on. So
we'll do another one next week. I missed this. I do. So
yeah.
All right. Well, for Reagan Danzig, I am Rick Diesel, and we have come to the end of another AIWF Mid-Atlantic Breakdown, and we will see you next time.